Stevie Smith, 1902 to 1971, was an English poet and novelist. She was born in Hull, Yorkshire, and then moved when she was 3 to London. She published several collections of short prose and letters, as well as nearly a dozen volumes of verse. Although the nursery rhyme-like cadences of her poems and the whimsical drawings with which she illustrated them suggest a child's innocence, Stevie Smith was a sophisticated poet whose work was much concerned with suffering and mortality. Her macabre sense of humour can shock, as in her most famous poem, Not Waving, but Drowning. Linda Hallett writes, sometimes her poetry has a discerning or disconcerting mixture of wit and seriousness, making her at once one of the most consistent and most elusive of poets. Her writings frequently demonstrated a fascination with death and also explored the mysterious, rather sinister reality which lurks behind appealing or innocent appearances. As a result, the apparent geniality of many of her poems is in fact more frightening than the solemn keening and sentimental despair of other poets, for it is based on a clear-sighted acceptance by a mind neither obtruse nor unimaginative, but sharp and serious, innocent but far from naive. Smith's voice is nevertheless very much that of what she once called the age of unrest through which she lived. A Times Literary Supplement reviewer described Smith's most distinctive achievement. The critic elaborated, the cliches, the excesses, the crabbed formalities of this speech are given weight by the chillingly amusing or disquieting elements, by the sense of a refined, ironic unhappiness underlying the poems, and by the variety of topics embraced by the poet's 3 or 4 basic and serious themes. Although the writer found some of Smith's work indulgent, even trivial, it ought at last to be recognized that Miss Smith's is a purposeful and substantial talent. From below the surface oddness, her personal voice comes out to us as something questing, discomforting, compassionate. Smith's highly individualistic poetic style was vulnerable to shifts in critical taste and to the charges of eccentricity, a charge which Smith risked and in a sense even flirted with throughout her career. Hallett concluded, however, the integrity with which she adhered to her own style earned Stevie Smith a considerable amount of respect, and more than 10 years after her death, her reputation with both readers and fellow poets is deservedly high. Smith was awarded the Cholmondeley Award for Poets in 1966 and the Queen's Gold Medal for Poetry in 1969. She died of a brain tumour in 1971.